live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Hey, hey, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going live. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, yeah, we going. Yeah, 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 we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
On to the real.
Yeah.
All right, so this On to the Real is a duel onto the real.
A little different too. Yeah.
A little different. I think. Yeah. I don't think that we have many where we see someone walking out of the door, and it's not even about what they're doing or what they will be doing after sport. It's just the fact of celebrating them, as both of these women,
yes,
are ending their storied careers,
prolific
both on the top
career.
of the games. Both could be considered, you know what I'm saying, the best in their games.
Absolutely.
And so Serena Williams and Sylvia Fowles are both retiring from their respective sports. Serena from tennis and Sylvia Fowles from the WNBA. And so I just think that especially, I don't want to separate them, but thinking about when I was in high school and the first time I saw Serena playing against Venus in Wimbledon, I want to say this had to be like 99, maybe 2000. And I'm just seeing these two Black women in the game of tennis where I had never really paid much attention to it. And now I'm glued to the TV because I want to see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
And for all of this time to have passed, because that was like 99, 2000, like I said, and now it's 2022.
Yeah.
And for her to have done all that she's done in this time frame, it one makes me realize how old I am. And two,
okay, we won't go there.
And two, it's just amazing to think about for all of that time, you know, and all that she's done in that amount of time.
Listen, SA says this all the time, that Serena, hands down, you can't have an argument with her that Serena is the best athlete of all times.
Yeah.
And a lot of that she bases obviously on the fact that she's won like 20 something, 20 something Grand Slams. Who gonna catch that, right? So yeah, Serena, it was a shock to see that she was retiring, but I know she's had a couple of these last couple of rounds ago, she's been suffering from some injuries that she just, and you know, Olympia's getting older, and I know she wants to do more from that perspective of being her mom. So I salute both of these women. I actually made a point of watching Sylvia Fowles' last game today on purpose. And they just kept talking about how they didn't talk about her from her talent. They talked about her from her character.
Yeah.
And they talked about what an amazing person she is and how great she's been. And yes, she's got numbers. We're not going to diminish that. She's probably one of the best to ever do it. But just, it was just it feels like, I'll tell you what it feels like. I watch these TikTok videos all the time and cry with these officers, whether it's a canine or a human, who are at the end of their watch.
Yeah.
And it feels very much so like the end of their watch for me. And so kudos to both of these amazing Black women. I can't wait to see what they do next. The sky's the limit. For both of them. I certainly hope that Sylvia Fowles finds her way into coaching. That's what I hope. I hope she does, but because of her character, because of her knowledge.
I want some of these young ladies, and I say young ladies, and I use that loosely. I want some of these young ladies to find their way into executive roles.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's true. That's true. But I feel like she's got the spirit.
Yeah, of a coach.
Of a coach.
Yeah. I said the same thing about Cynthia Cooper when she was playing.
Exactly. Like some of them you can just tell, like they just got it in them. Like some of them I see, like Sue Bird. Yeah. No man, you can't be nobody's coach when you're done. Yeah. But you could go be an executive somewhere, right? You can't. I don't see her having that kind of, you know what I mean? Like, no, that'll be a problem. So, because she nasty. But yeah, so I wish both of them the best. We're gonna miss seeing them. Absolutely, it feels like it's gonna be I'm a huge tennis fan because I played tennis in high school, and so I've been a tennis fan before Venus and Serena, but it'll definitely feel different not having a Serena Williams. It felt different when there wasn't a Venus. Venus ain't really, you know what I mean? Like hadn't been in that. So, but I'm glad we have a Coco Gauff. And some of these other young ladies who are making their way up through the ranks. So, yeah.
Shout out to them.
Absolutely.
Feel good final thought?
Yeah.
Now, you had mentioned this and I saw the clip and I have remarked at this young man because I think about when I played baseball and all of the times that I got hit by a pitch, how I wanted to go and fight because getting hit by pitches,
it's painful.
It's painful and it doesn't feel good and you feel like they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
And so to see this young man get hit by a pitch
in the head,
got hit in the head by the pitch, and he saw the pitcher upset by it and being upset with himself by doing something like this. When he got to first base, he took off his helmet, laid it down to the side, and walked over to console the pitcher who had just hit him by a pitch.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, Lord, I still got some work to do. No, but I thought this was I thought this was a great show of sportsmanship. I thought this was a great show of, that there is still some humanity left in this world. When we think about some of the things that we see, some of the things that we have seen, and we wonder where humanity is. It's still here, it's still alive and well, And so I love seeing and hearing stories like this.
Absolutely. It is. Not only am I impressed with just as a human being that you got outside of yourself to see somebody else in their mind, even though you had, people was tending to you because you was on the ground, like he hit you in the head and then you fell. So that, it was this big deal, right? Of you being on the ground. So the fact that when you got to first base and you looked at another human being and you saw the pain that they were experiencing, and as a 14-year-old, to have the empathy and compassion, and in the middle of a competitive game, to say, I don't even care what it looked like to anybody. I got to go console this person that's a stranger to me, even that part, right? Because y'all from two different states. This stranger to me, but he's a human being and he's hurting. And I need him to know that I'm okay and that he can be okay. Was probably in the top 5 for me of good sportsmanship that I've seen ever. Period. It was amazing. He was amazing. Both of them, because even the pitcher, to be in that much of a state, you didn't do it on purpose, clearly. So to be in that much of a state about what you did. And so the backstory too is this pitcher is a really big boy. And so he already has a stigma attached to him as a really big boy. And so for him to have this kind of allowing himself to feel the way that he felt and being so open out in the open with his feelings, kudos to both of them. I loved it. Loved it.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to them both.
Yes.
I didn't even think about that part of it, but he could have, tried to be macho and not
He a
apologetic
big
or anything
boy.
like that.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a big boy. I mean, people probably look at him and think, oh, he tough, he bad, he big. You know what I'm saying? And so for him to still show his vulnerable side and be like, no, but this affected me. I love it. I love it. For kudos to both of them. And I just, the Sky, they're going to do great things because they have beautiful spirits.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, show picks. Steph, what you watching?
Okay, so I started watching this show yesterday, Instant Dream Home on Netflix, because I'm a HGTV freak.
And that it had the feel of the HGTV.
Because it's crazy. Because this show, the premise is you have an accomplice and they gotta redo a house in 12 hours. Mm-hmm. So episode 5, I'm watching, I binge watch. I get to episode 5. I'm like, that's Chevy. So Alfred Brooks, shout out to Alfred Brooks, is Alfred Chevy Brooks is a teacher at High School, Charles Drew High School in Atlanta. He's also a friend of Cord's.
Oh wow, okay.
When we were attempting to start a podcast, Chevy was on that podcast with Cord and Steve.
Oh, okay. Full circle moment. Yes.
Yep. So
I know I had heard the name before, but I couldn't.
And he also ran for District 6 in for Fulton County.
Okay.
For the commissioners to see. So I was like, oh, that's Chevy. So it was really cool to see them redo his house. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to specifically go to that episode and watch.
I think it's episode 5. I'm pretty sure it's episode 5. And it's Alfred Brooks. Brooks. So that was really cool to see somebody I actually know that get their house redone. And they did a dope job of doing their house. So that, and then Uncoupled, which is Neil Patrick Harris and my girl Tisha Campbell. When I tell you, it is hilarious. Yeah. It is hilarious.
It's a movie?
No, it's a series.
Okay.
It is a series. Neil Patrick Harris is dumped by, he's a gay man in the series who's dumped by his partner of 17 years. Oh, it's hilarious.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
What you watching?
So I actually have not watched this yet, but I'm gonna watch it by the time I will have watched it by the time it airs. So I can't say how it is yet, but I've heard so much about this show and from its first season that I'm gonna go ahead and me and Ronnie gonna binge season 1 and get caught up so we can see season 2, episode 1. But PowerBook 3, the way that Power ended, the first iteration of it, the way that it ended kind of left a little bit to be desired. But people have been talking about how good this story is. It's kind of one of those prequel stories.
Oh, goes back to
it goes
before.
Back.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone's talked about how good the writing is on this one. So I'm gonna have to check this one out. So PowerBook 3, Raising Canaan.
Yes. I saw that season 2 is about to come out or something. Yeah, I saw that. All right.
That's it for me. We are at the end of 173 Step.
Yes.
And for those of you out there who would like to get in contact with us, whether that be to be on the show or you just got some feedback that you want to give us, you can reach out to us several different ways. One being our email address, and that's field2therealpodcast@gmail.com. You can hit us up in the Twitter sphere at field2therealp1. Our IG is at field2therealpodcast. You can reach out to us there or respond to some of the content we post. And if you want to get us on Facebook or go to our YouTube page, you can go to right there where Stephanie is pointing. Field to the Real Podcast. That's with T-O and not the number 2. You can search that, find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube. And if if you're listening, you probably found us on our streaming platform already. So, but if you are looking at us on YouTube, We do have an audio version of this podcast that you can go to on all streaming platforms, all DSPs to find us, and you would type in the same thing, Field to the Real Podcast. For some reason, I think Spotify is kind of hating on us. Maybe it's because I talk bad about them. And so when you search our name, it doesn't just pop up. So
interesting. Okay.
In that case, I would say go listen to us on Apple Podcasts. There's ways to find us. I think if you dig around a little bit through sports podcasts, you'll see us pop up. So we thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us.
We're so happy to be back.
Yes, we will see you guys, talk to you guys, hear you guys next week. We are out of here for 173. Peace. Oh, that finger's disappearing.
I did it sideways, trying to make it not look like.
No, but the finger that stayed up is the index. So you ain't
okay, good. At least I'm not bursting. Thank you.
Put the cameras on me. 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 Put the cameras on me.